Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Friday, July 18th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. I'll start with big picture resistance. We're not going to see this today, but if over the next few weeks, and we are expecting a retest of this over the next few weeks, the 351.39 to 355.86 area able to contain buying through August, possibly into later year, and below which you could say, and we're not expecting it anytime soon, but when you look at midterm, long-term resistance, you ask yourself, what is midterm, long-term support? And that would be the same chart, a descending channel bottom at 257.96, that if tested in the coming weeks can absorb selling on a monthly basis. And those are the two parameters, really, the 250s support and the 350s resistance. And if we were, over the coming weeks, to close above 355.86, then we have a long-term buy signal, which could, by the end of the year, yield the 518.19 5-year channel top. I think it would ultimately yield 518.19 anyway. The question is whether that could occur, within the 5 months, 3 to 5 months of closing above 355.86. And inversely, we really don't have a longer term sell signal unless we close below the 257.96 descending channel bottom on the same exact chart, then expecting within 2 to 3 months, the 160s, 160.177 to 167.87 is a 5-year channel structure that, if tested in the months ahead, can absorb selling through all of 26. That is the big picture. And it really was about a week ago that we closed above, actually a little more than a week ago, above the 303.65 descending channel top, which provided a 2 to 3 week buy signal into the low to mid 350s again. Now we're a full week plus into that with very little upside continuation. 3 to 5 day target. 5 days into it, still remains at 331.10. We actually could see 331.10 today if we clearly open above 332.16. That is a 50% upside retracement level. We've obviously had trouble there on the way up. And in fact, you can see that we actually opened upper left. We opened a tick below it on Thursday, and then obviously eased back to close negative on the day. So 323.16 is our upward pivot point for the day. If we can push, especially open today above 323.16, 331.10 in reach, where a daily high can be placed. And inversely, downside, we've got 303.65. I don't expect to see that today unless, for instance, we were to break 312.25. So if you're looking for kind of a day trade area to trade, I'm talking to you, either day traders who are looking for the setup of the day, or you just trade throughout the day. Just know that 312.25 is decent support. We might even bottom out there for the day. And of course, we have our 323.16, 50% upside, which can give the market trouble. But given the overall context, the buy signal above 303.65, I do think that is just a matter of time before we actually close above 323.16. And with the fact that their 3 to 5 day objective is dropping progressively, we could see 331.10 on an intraday basis if we push or open above 323.16, especially open. That 331.10 formation, well suited to contain daily buying pressures. And 3 to 5 day swing traders, I don't have a problem reversing and playing the short side ever so carefully, because we could fall away from 331.10 down to perhaps some variation of this 312.25 channel bottom, which would be a slightly different structure if we test 331.10. But I think you understand what I'm saying. Know, though, that the settlement that occurred about a week ago above 303.65 carries with it not only 331.10 as a kind of a short-term target, but the near-term 2 to 3 week outlook, expecting the mid to upper 350s, or sort of the mid 350s. And so if we were to close today above 331.10, and it does not look likely, but if we did, we've got a 3 to 5 day buy signal, another one up to the targeted 351.39 to 355.86 area. And so I'm breaking these time frames down, which I think is appropriate. Day trading, 3 to 5 day swing trading, and 2 to 3 week swing trading, which remains bullish above 303.65.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
Now, downside, it would be a settlement today below 303.65. That tells me that we are likely to continue south. The question is how far south? The 2 to 3 week signals have not played out very well over the last 3 or 4 weeks. As you may be well aware, we settled below not only a 4-month channel bottom with no downside, we also settled below a rising 2/3 speed line with no downside follow through, and then we closed after all that above 303.65. So, if we close below 303.65, what I want to say is by the end of next week, 284.70 is likely. There is the possibility for 254.78 over the following 3 to 5 weeks. So I will say that if we close below 303.65, I don't have a problem with you then playing the short side into the mid 250s by the end of August or sooner. Just know that I would anticipate challenges on the way down. 284.70, again at 272.87, which is the 5/8 Fibonacci, etc., on the way down potentially to 254.78. The failure to follow through above 303.65 into the 350s carries with it consequences, which should yield at least 284.70 by the end of next week. And I think by the end of August, we just might find ourselves in the mid 250s. We have the potential here. We need to see what the high is, but if we fall away, I can draw a trend line from the late June high against that high that was put out on Thursday, project that against this series of lows, and that will, over the next few weeks, take us into the mid 250s anyway. So yes, if we close below 303.65, I'm going to say 254.75 is attainable by the end of August. Not necessarily expected, but attainable enough where I think if you're looking to play one side or the other, let's put it this way, I would not want to be long as a 2 to 3 week swing trader with a settlement today below 303.65. If I had to be positioned, it would be to the short side. Until then, you are long above 303.65, still anticipating our objective, in the low to mid 250s, 350s rather, 351.39 to 355.86. I do want to mention that we put out 2 stock picks on wickedstocks.com this week, one in SoFi Technology, the other in Unity Software. We'll put out 2 stock picks next week, always looking for what we consider to be reliable buy signals that play out for 20% gains in that underlying stock over the weeks and several months ahead. And so our batting average is pretty good. You should check us out. You can see it all for free by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial, which will also provide you daily Triple Q, daily SPY, and weekly Apple stock analysis. So go to wickedstocks.com, take advantage of that 5-day free trial. I will be back first thing Monday morning, no later than 6 a.m. New York, with Monday's Tesla report. You have a great weekend.